Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, November 7th, 2013. This is Texan TV News from the campus of Tarleton State University in Stephenville, Texas, and I'm Stephanee Rhodes. In today's headlines, Chris Kyle Veterans Support Fund established memorial roping tournament at Lone Star Arena to raise funds for Tarleton scholarships. Chaplain finds another calling removing tattoos. Grandmother killed over curfew and rent. New evidence found in the investigation of the death of Palestinian leader. Mavs lose in a blowout. Twitter burnout. In campus news, Tarleton's Military Veterans Services Center is creating the Chris Kyle Veterans Support Fund in order to benefit student veterans. Kyle was a former student at Tarleton as well as a Navy SEAL and celebrated sniper who became dedicated to veterans' causes after his discharge. He was slain in February 2013. As head of the Veterans Services Center at Tarleton, Dr. James Verdalis announced the fund yesterday during the meeting of the Military Veterans Service Center Advisory Board. The way the account will be funded is simply through private donations and gifts. To jumpstart the fund, the Tarleton Area Educational Office professionals gave $1,000. It has been said that the fund will be used for items such as computers, calculators, or personal items that student veterans may need. In order to recommend disbursements to Validus, who will have authority over the fund, a screening process will be created. Verdalis also announced that Chris Kyle's parents, Wayne and Debbie Kyle, have become new members of the Military Veterans Service Center Advisory Board. Tarleton's Military Veterans Services Center was established in November 2011 and works with U.S. military veteran students and dependents to help them reach their educational goals at Tarleton. There are 420 student veterans attending Tarleton. The center also provides assistance to spouses and dependents of veterans. For more information about the Military Veterans Services Center, call 254-968-1805 or visit www.tarleton.edu/veterans. In the Cross Timbers area, the Jordan Freeman Memorial Roping Tournament will take place this weekend. According to the Stephenville Empire Tribune, the rodeo event began in 2006 to honor the memory of Jordan Freeman, a girl who at 5 years old was killed in a horse-related accident. The event has generated more than $60,000 since it started for Tarleton Rodeo scholarships. Sissy Freeman, the mother of Jordan, expressed her thanks to the Stephenville and Tarleton community for their outpouring of love for the memory of young Jordan Freeman. The schedule for the weekend is as follows. Saturday, books open at 8 a.m. and roping begins at 9 a.m. Sunday, books open at 8:20 a.m., rope at 9 a.m., and Cowboy Church service at 8 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, they will be having a silent auction as well as goat roping. And now, today's Texas and national and international news from the Associated Press. In state news, a sheriff's department chaplain in Texas has found a new calling, removing tattoos for ex-offenders. Wayne Heinz works for the Harris County Sheriff's Department in Houston. He got the idea when he met a former gang member who was sure he would never get a job because of his tattoos. Heinz sought training to learn how to remove ink from underneath the skin. And earlier this year, he and his wife, Francine, bought a laser and opened a small clinic. They offer a big discount to gang members, prostitutes, burglars, and other ex-cons in exchange for community service. Heinz says it's almost as if he is able to erase a chapter of their life. Tattoo removal is part of a jail program that also offers offenders drug and job counseling. AP has video on the story.
Wow. There's a transformation happening in this tiny Houston clinic where ink and old self-perceptions are literally disappearing one session at a time.
Okay, we're good. Stop. Okay, break.
Wayne Heinz is a different kind of artist. His finished work is a blank canvas.
It's almost like you're able to erase a chapter of their life and turn the pages back in that book and give them the opportunity to take that different road.
Many who come here are ex-offenders. They include Tanisha Wright, whose vanishing tattoos symbolize a new life free of drugs and a plan to become a social worker.
I can't erase all the years that I've done, and I've done a lot of damage in my life. But I can start by making a new statement about how life should be.
Not so long ago, Wright was here.
If you had a choice today not to have gone and tatted up your body, who wouldn't have done it?
Heinz meets a lot of his tattooed clients in jail, where he's a longtime sheriff's chaplain.
It's almost 100%.
Almost.
Until they get rid of the tattoo. they're not going to be able to get a good paying job.
So removing tattoos became his new calling and part of a reentry program for offenders that includes drug and job counseling.
We've given you the tools, and we will help you as you leave here.
He knows where we've been because he's worked out there, but he also knows where we could be if we chose to change our life.
Heinze offers his services to ex-offenders at a big discount in exchange for community service, so his new side job probably won't make him rich.
I'll be honest with you, we still haven't broken even yet.
But that's not the point.
Lord, thank you for everything you do. I guess the easiest way to describe it is that everything in our life works great. We have wonderful kids. We both have jobs. And for us not to try to help somebody else, that's just wrong.
What matters, he says, is helping people heal inside and out. Martha Irvin, Associated Press, Houston.
In national news, 40-year-old Jason Eric Howell has attempted to kill his 78-year-old grandmother, Helen Jean Lee, more than once over strict curfew and the amount of money requested for his rent. He first attempted to do it in her sleep, but she awoke. Only a few days later, he attacked his grandmother with a shovel, slit her throat, and proceeded to dispose of the body in the desert. Lee was reported missing on October 30th by a family member who was worried when they could not reach her. Detectives walked into a bloody mess at her home. On that same day, after a chase in a stolen SUV with a 12-year-old girl in the back of it, who managed to escape the moving vehicle with only minor injuries, the chase ended with Howell crashing into a patrol car. Howell claims he was drunk and high on methamphetamine. He was charged with assaulting a police officer, kidnapping, first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and abandoning a body. As of Wednesday, he remained held on a $1 million bond and a court appearance next week. In international news, Swiss scientists have found evidence suggesting Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat may have been poisoned with a radioactive substance, and a TV station reported Wednesday, prompting new allegations by his widow that the Palestinian leader was the victim of a shocking crime. Palestinian officials have repeatedly accused Israel of poisoning Arafat, which has long been denied. Arafat died under confusing circumstances at a French military hospital in 2004, a month after falling ill at his Israeli besieged West Bank compound. The findings reported Wednesday appeared to be the most significant so far in an investigation into Arafat's death initiated by his widow, Suha. Last year, Switzerland's Institute of Radiation Physics discovered traces of polonium-210, a deadly radioactive isotope, on some of Arafat's belongings. Soil and bone samples later confirmed moderate support that the death was a consequence of poisoning with polonium-210. The Swiss teams reported high levels of polonium-210. Arafat's widow demanded that the Palestinian committee that has been investigating her husband's death now try to find the real person who did it. The head of the committee said details would be presented at a news conference on Friday, and that the Palestinian Authority, led by Arafat's successor, Mahmoud Abbas, would announce what they plan to do next. In sports, the Dallas Mavericks fell to the Oklahoma City Thunder, 107-93. Vince Carter was ejected from the game after a flagrant 2 foul for elbowing OKC's Adams in the third quarter. Kevin Durant led the charge for the Thunder with 23 points and 10 assists, while Russell Westbrook helped with 22 points. Monta Ellis continued his scoring this season as he led the way for the Mavs with 20 points. The Mavs were playing on the second night of a back-to-back and fell to a record of 3-2. Last night began a 3-game road trip for the Mavs. They will finish up with a back-to-back in Minnesota and Milwaukee, Friday and Saturday nights. In entertainment news, some believe Twitter, like all things, is coming to an end. Some tweeters believe that the pressure to tweet and have a lot of followers is becoming too much, consuming their lives and getting what they call FOMO, or fear of missing out, when off of it for too long. Some simply tweet for the credibility that it brings. Having an abundance of followers can be beneficial for jobs such as TV and movies because they believe your followers will literally follow you and watch. And finally, negative tweets are a big setback for Twitter. A lot of tweeters are tired of the criticism they get for simple opinions. With the law of freedom of speech, Twitter allows people to say what they want, and that can sometimes result in insults of genders and races of all kinds. With other apps such as Instagram and Pinterest growing popularity in the young group, how will Twitter survive? And according to the Weather Channel, we should expect a high of 66 and a low of 43. Texan TV News is a product of the Texan News Service. Find us on Facebook and Twitter and visit our website at texannewsservice.net. For all your latest news, sports, and lifestyle and entertainment, I'm Stephanee Rhodes from the Tarleton State University in Stephenville, Texas.